Hi, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 2023 money and career reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Okay, we have the Knight of Swords reversed. Guide this reading and show me clearly. We then have the Fool. We have the King of Swords. We have the Queen of Pentacles, angels, and that's reverse. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. We have the Sun reversed. We have the Nine of Swords reversed, and we have Justice reversed. So let me move everything down because a lot of cards came out so that you can see everything clearly. Okay, perfect. All right. So this is a very interesting time. We're crowned with the Knight of Swords. We then have the King of Swords in the upright, the King of Wands in the upright position. So here with the Knight of Swords, this is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If we're born on the cusp with Aquarius or we have air sign energy in our chart, we can find that this is a part of our personality that's just like all over the place. It is all over the place. It's kind of like do it. You know when your mind is talking to you and it's like those inappropriate thoughts where it's like, oh, what if you just jumped off that cliff, or what if you just like did something completely outrageous? That's kind of the energy that can come forward during this time, Capricorn, and it's very it's annoying. So just be mindful about that, because here you have tremendous momentum, you have tremendous energy to move forward, to go after what you want, but you have to make sure you keep a handle on it and you keep it reined in. You're looking at expanding. This is going to be a time where you have really good ideas. I would absolutely keep an idea journal during this time, or like a memo note thing. You can talk into it, you can write things down, whatever works for you, because you are going to have such good ideas to move forward. Your passion on point when it comes to your career, when it comes to being able to work, being able to get things going, get things rolling. You are on point. Financially, you're frustrated. Now, this can be that you're not meeting the goals that you've set for yourself, but this is also you have really high expectations for yourself. And this can be a time where it's like, listen, you're building, you're growing, show yourself some kindness, show yourself some compassion. Also, make sure that you're taking care of you. You can become so focused on goals, so focused on, okay, this is how we're achieving, this is how we're succeeding, this is how we're building, that you forget that you matter. So it's almost like everybody else's needs are going to absolutely surpass your own, and don't do that to yourself. You're also not going to value how much you're putting into things and how far you've come. So there's a lot of expectation here, and it is very easy for you to be disappointed in yourself. Don't fall into that pattern. The Sun reversed, there is a delay on the gratification that you're getting. So during this time, you might be like, "Oh, I'm not moving forward the way that I want to. It's not happening. I'm putting all this time, I'm putting all this effort in. I've improved, I've elevated things, and people aren't seeing it." And then all of a sudden, it's going to be like, "Oh, people see it." It's like all of a sudden, nobody sees, nobody sees, nobody sees, and then people see it. So just be aware of that. It's kind of like if you're losing weight, right? You could have lost all this weight and nobody sees it. And then one day everybody starts complimenting you. It's like, oh, wow. Or you get your hair done or your nails done or something. It's like nobody sees it. And then all of a sudden everybody starts seeing it. So just be aware of that. I said wait first because I wanted people to really understand. And Spirit wants you to really understand that it's something like you've worked really hard at, and that has been a challenge, right? So here, just know that however that manifests into your life, that's what you're doing right now. With the Nine of Swords, you're starting to release your worry. Now, that can be a little bit hard for us. We're born represented by the Devil card, which I always think is a little bit rude, but the Devil card just means we're very grounded here on earth. And what we also see is that, like, with that energy coming forward, it can mean that we're a little bit more susceptible to anxieties, a little bit more susceptible to, you know, addictions. However, we get kind of caught up in something that's coming forward. So when we're releasing it, that's huge. That's an absolute win for us here, Capricorn. And with justice reversed, some things aren't fair. This is also Libra energy, a time frame of September 23rd to October 22nd. We might find that some things just aren't fair, right? We didn't move forward. the way that we had thought we would, or the way that we had expected. And some things aren't just, they're not fair, and we're coming to terms with that now. So being aware of that energy here is going to be really important, but also not letting it knock us off balance and knock us completely off our game. We're also coming out of the worry and the doubt and the fear of when something happened in our lives that just wasn't fair. It was like, it was a blow. And now we're finding ourselves getting on our feet. Our passion is there, but we might not feel like we're being rewarded or compensated the way that we should be. So just be mindful about that. So now let's embrace our singing bowl, our healing of the energy space. I've done things a bit differently, so please let me know what you think. I love communicating with you guys, and if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a snowman in the comment box, and a person will be chosen at random and announced on the 1st of January. And then all the instructions will be in that video. It will be through a separate video, so keep your eyes open for that. And yeah, good luck to everyone, but don't be scammed by anybody contacting you in the comment box. It will not be me, so do keep your eyes open for that video on January 1st. So now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration. Oh, and if you would like a reading, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It's listed in the description box below. I do readings, meditations, and healings. So now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Capricorn, let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and Spirit guides, angels and Spirit guides. This is Goddess energy reversed. This means that we can be having a bit of difficulty connecting with the sacred feminine and connecting with that sacred feminine energy moving us forward. So just being aware of that during this time, doing the simple meditation of just like taking a deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you, and chanting sacred feminine, sacred feminine, sacred feminine, and seeing what that brings up in your body, what emotions come forward. We can then compare and contrast that to saying sacred masculine, sacred masculine, sacred masculine. And knowing here that connecting with the goddess energy, the sacred feminine energy, is going to be really important for us. And it's going to be something that is just a little bit tricky during this time. And it can't even be that we're having trouble valuing the sacred feminine. We can see the value in the sacred masculine. I mean, we see it right here in the cards with the King of Wands. It's like, okay, I got that. I know that. But the Queen of Pentacles, is that worth anything? Is a gentler, more feminine, quote unquote, approach something that I see as valuable? Or do I see that as, I can't monetize that, right? That's not worth anything. That's not going to get me where I want to be. And yet Spirit is saying here, that's the money, right? That's the money right here. It's the person holding the pentacle. The person holding the gold is the person who is caring and compassionately building and growing something. So understanding that that has financial worth is going to be really important, because our world, we're really great at seeing the conqueror, right? The person out on the battlefield, slaying the dragons, going after, getting what we want. We get that. It's easy to see too. But the person steadily, slowly building and taking care of, that's harder to see. That's like building the home, right? Well, this is like clearing the land, putting up the house. We can see that. But then this is making the house a home. And do we see value in that? Or do we think, oh, well, the house is already up, like the hard work is done, type of thing. So now we have to be kind to ourselves. And that's going to be a really important thing. And that's something that we're having a bit of difficulty seeing the value to. Seeing the value to the emotional connection. Let's see what our chakra energy is for this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. So we have two. Oh, so we have communication, the throat chakra reverse, and we have here self mastery. This is the solar plexus chakra reversed. And why I went is because I kept on seeing before, like, humming being very important to you. So that's the third chakra. That's where our thyroid is. And so humming, chanting, this can be very important to activating not only our throat chakra, but also activating our thyroid and really helping our body be in balance. So with communication here, reverse, we are having a hard time stating to ourselves what we want. And so then it can be, then that translates into, I'm having a hard time stating to the rest of the world what I want. We can be a little bit scattered all over the place. Our solar plexus is telling us, hey, listen, you're not listening to me. You're not listening to your gut. You're not listening to your instinct reaction to things. And it's going to be very important to kind of touch earth, connect with ourselves again, and say, what is it that I want? Connecting with our throat chakra, connecting with our solar plexus chakra, giving value to our voice and what our soul is telling us, hey, listen, this is really important. So that's going to be a big thing. It moves us then to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels, oh goodness, and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Oh, be mindful of the tower. That's always a good. Understand that the tower, we always say a tower time, and always in the tower and in the tarot, it's like, okay, this is going to be huge, right? This is going to be big. Everybody will know this is an intense time for you. And sometimes that's true. Sometimes you have things that happen in your life where people are like, oh my gosh, how did you get through that? How did you handle that? But the tower time can also be really beautiful things that change the way we interact with our lives forevermore. So I always like to use the example of getting married or having children, where you can be so excited about both of these things. They're like huge. Everybody's congratulating you. It's so wonderful. And then it's like, okay, well, now I'm married. Like, how the heck do I figure this out? Like, this is forever. And then the other thing, like having a kid, it's like, oh my gosh, now I have a kid, right? How do I figure this out? How do I not mess this up? And so whenever we go through a tower time, it can be a time that everybody celebrates and everybody thinks is great. And internally, it changes us at a cellular level. It's stress. It blows our mind. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about this so differently than I have ever thought about this before. And that's just what happens. That's what life is. And so our tower times can be really intense. It can be sickness. It can be loss of jobs. It can be, financial struggle. And that's a valid tower time. It takes us out of the security that we were once in. But our tower times could also be really beautiful times that shake us to our foundation, that make us question, oh my gosh, did I really want this? Or can I move forward this way? Or, what have I gotten myself into? So being kind to ourselves when spirit is saying, hey, be mindful about this, being kind to ourselves and saying, listen, even beautiful things can be tower times. Even the most exciting things can be tower times. And I'm respecting that about my existence and my life and myself. Because we know when we go through things that are really, really hard and people are like, oh my gosh, and those things are hard enough to get through. And the things that everybody's like, well, why should you even be complaining? That can also make us feel really guilty. So being mindful about this and showing yourself some compassion. And be mindful also that something during this time might be shaken up. It might not be a bad thing at all, but it's like it's shaking up the way that you see things, the way that you interact with things. And with us being crowned by the Knight of Swords, this energy of us is always going to be like, oh, I have to keep on moving forward. I don't want to sit and think and stew in anything right now. Crowned by the Knight of Swords reverse is like, any energy forward, good energy. Any energy that makes me stay in place, bad energy. And it's going to be really that cut and dry. So just being mindful of this during this time, showing ourselves grace, letting ourselves connect with our mind, because we also don't want to think too deeply about things. It's kind of like, okay, yes or no. It's just kind of like almost like asking the magic 8 ball or rolling a dice. It's like, okay, what will happen? Let's just move forward. And this isn't a D&D game, right? This isn't Dungeons and Dragons. We have to think things through. And that's going to be really important. We can't just decide things by rolling the dice. So understanding that the reversed Knight of Swords, the upright Knight of Swords, this is us being the hero of our story, which we can be if we slow things down and we think things through and we, look at the decision making not as a burden, but like, okay, I have to be a part of this. Okay, I have to connect with this. But this reversed is like, oh, I don't want to do any of this. And I really don't want to think too hard about it all because I'm really overwhelmed. So let's just keep going. So just be mindful about this, especially when it comes to money and career, that just that sense of like, just keep moving, just keep moving, just keep moving, that can be detrimental. And we can not be looking at really big things that need our attention. With the Fool, oh my gosh, do we want to change? Like, we have so many good ideas coming our way during this time, Capricorn, that really seriously keep an inspiration journal, keep a big idea journal. However you do it, whether it's through voice memos or through a journal that you keep by your bed, you are so inspired. And I just see you having so many new ideas, especially if you're a creative person, like so many new ideas on the table. And even if you wouldn't consider yourself a creative person, you have a way of looking at things and being like, oh, I can solve that problem. Oh, I see how that goes. Oh, I get this. Oh, I get that. And that's going to be highly beneficial for you during this time. It really will help you enhance your career. It will help you move forward financially. So just knowing this, we do not have to monetize everything either. That's very much our Western world, where it's like, okay, how can I make money off of everything? And Spirit is saying here, sometimes things are just for enjoyment. So we can also have an inspiration journal during this time. It's like, okay, what really inspires me? What do I want to see if I can do it? Right? So we're going to have these challenges. That's going to be like, okay, I'm going to jump. I'm going to see what I can create during this time. And it's going to raise our energy vibration because it's having us tune into part of our life purpose, part of why we're here. And we don't have to give ourselves permission because, like, oh, that's obviously going to be successful. It's like, well, this is obviously me, and I'm going to do it because it's going to bring me joy. And as it brings me joy, it raises my energy vibration. It keeps me out of that dark, icky place that we can get to as human beings, and it keeps me moving forward. So that's going to be very inspirational. It's going to be very powerful. But remember, when you jump, you fall. It's just part of gravity. So when we go after things, we have to remember that the crisp, beautiful lines of a dream have mud thrown on them instantaneously when they become a reality. So being aware of that is going to be super, super important. With the King of Wands, we are passionate, we are creative, we are intuitive about things. There is a real sense of fire, of drive. This is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So if we're born on the cusp with Sagittarius, this part of our personality comes out very powerfully. Or if we have fire sign energy in our charts, we are going to see ourselves really gravitating towards people who have, vibrant passion to them, but also fire sign energies, just that sense of passion and drive and vigor and determination. That's really going to be attractive to us during this time, business wise, career wise, personally. So just be aware of this. There is also a sense of, I want big ideas. It's almost like we're daring ourselves to go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it doesn't matter how that translates into our lives because this is a general reading, but we're going to think bigger is always better. That coupled with the Knight of Swords energy reverse can be rather detrimental. So we can want to go too big too fast. And Spirit's like, okay, I know ambition, high, totally get that, totally see it. But let's look at what do I really want and what's really important to me. Because the thing is with the King of Wands, sorry, I'm just listening to Spirit. So the thing is with the King of Wands is that we don't want to be like Nero. Nero built one of the most beautiful palaces in Rome, like absolutely exquisite. When he was emperor, like, oh my gosh. But, Rome burnt under his rule. He just didn't care about anything else. We don't want to get so fixated on one certain thing that we let everything else crumble around us. And then we don't see like what was actually sustaining everything. So being aware of that with the King of Wands, it's like, okay, where's my passion? What do I desire? What do I want? Where's my fire? And how am I moving this forward? And then making time for that and saying, okay, opening up this door, like making time for this, but slowly and steadily having these goals and seeing how we can incorporate it into our day-to-day life. That's going to be a really important thing. It's like we can have these goals and they can be for the job that we work at, they can be for the career that we want, but they can also be hobbies that we have. It's like, okay, I want to get really good at this, but I know I'm going to stink first. And we have to show ourselves that grace. Like, show yourself that grace, no matter what you're doing, because you're going to be, again, elevating your energy vibration, which has you being seen, being seen energetically by the world and by the universe. It then moves us to the Queen of Pentacles reversed. And the Queen of Pentacles reversed, that's us. So we are represented by the Pentacles in the minor arcana. What we are naturally good at, we're not going to say. We're not going to think that that's a big deal at all. We're going to be like, well, yeah, everybody can do this. It's like, no, everybody can't. because it's natural to us, we're going to lower value it. So just be mindful about this during this time. Again, we have that difficulty with the sacred feminine energy. So with the Queen of Pentacles, she grows and she teaches. She sees how things are interconnected. She sees how to nurture. There's, gosh, I don't know if I remember this quite correctly, but there's something called like the mother tree or something like that in the forest. And it's the oldest tree. And it's the way that the root system connects with all the other trees, all the other kind of like plant life organisms in that forest. But we don't see it. So there's a sense of, I'm just seeing that's coming through so clearly, that there's this root system that we have, this way that we're moving things forward. That's so important. But because we don't see it, it doesn't speak the same language that we do, and it doesn't react to things the way that we do. The way that human beings can see and hear, we're going to think, oh no, that's not important. So being mindful of this during this time is going to be a game changer, because it's like, okay, I'm intricately building, I'm intricately growing, I'm intricately moving this forward. And it's going to take more time because that's just the nature of the beast, but it's going to be a high rewards. It's going to be high rewards. I just have to see that within myself. It brings us then to the sun, and that leads us to this blessing that's coming into hand that we're overlooking during this time. It might be that it's just too easy for us, or we think, oh, it's just like this, or it's just like that. And what Spirit is saying here is that the blessing from the sun, it always comes in. So you have a yes answer. It's just going to take longer than you anticipated. And as it takes longer, we can be frustrated and think, okay, I don't see my value anymore. I don't see my worth. This actually isn't working. And that's not the case at all. It is working. It's just taking longer than you had thought it would. And that's okay. It moves us. And the sun is the happiest card in the whole entire deck. So when you have joy and happiness, success, beauty, prosperity coming in, it's like, okay, it can take a little bit. And that's okay. December is your building time. December is also the time of realizing your gifts and your prosperity and your bounty. And like, I can have this. I can have this, and I know I can have it. I'm no longer doubting myself and talking myself out of success. With the Nine of Swords, you were an A-class warrior. So just be aware of that. You were an A-class warrior because things in your life weren't just and they weren't fair. And so you saw the ending of things probably right at the beginning. It's like, wow, I see how this can all blow up in smoke and blow up in flames. So here, being mindful of that, about that, being mindful of the worry, the doubt, the fear, the chaos, and the fact that we're letting it go. We're like, this isn't healthy for me anymore. I don't want this. Things weren't fair. Yes. In life, so many things aren't fair. If we're waiting for everything to be fair and just and beautifully balanced, and waiting also to make everybody feel like everything is fair and just and beautifully balanced, we'll never get there. We'll never get there. So being aware of this during this time, super important. We're letting go of the worry. We're letting go of a lot of the worry. It might take us time. We're learning, right? We're human. It might take us time, but we are releasing a lot of the worry, a lot of the fear, a lot of the chaos that has held us back. And as we release that, it's like a breath of fresh air comes in. And then with justice, it's like, okay, some things in life, just not fair. I get that. And I respect that. And I'm moving forward in the beauty of my life. Because it's so easy to get consumed with what isn't fair for us. What isn't fair, what isn't right. That we forget to see all the beauty that is around us. And the time that we have. Time is a really important thing. And we have it. And there's such a beauty to us. And Spirit is saying here, I know this is a money and career reading. Spirit is saying, know your worth. Know your worth, because the way that you can move forward once you see your worth, Capricorn, is astounding. Astounding. You have a business mind. You have a way of looking at things, and people will be like, oh, wow, yeah, you can monetize it that way, or you can do that, or it does work like this. It doesn't matter where you work or how you work. You have a brilliance to you that it's like you're really good at what you do. Let it shine. And if you're not really good at where you are, you're like, oh, I hate to hear. You're going to see that you start to move towards an alignment with your spirit and yourself. Divinity is just going to do that for you. Our subconscious spirit message is imagination reverse. Imagine reverse. We aren't giving ourselves permission to imagine, to create, to innovate. We can think, oh, this is silly. Like, why do you need to sit there and imagine? Well, that's going to be part of our big ideas journal. we need to imagine it. We need to say, yeah, it can happen. Look at the different ways. Let our imagination move us forward. We're not making time for that. And Spirit is saying it's so important that we make time for this. Our subconscious energy to be not mindful of, our subconscious chakra energy is angels and masters reversed. And this is our soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. This is the fact that our angels are wrapping their wings around us and we're not even noticing. We are so caught up in the earthly world, which is a warning for Capricorns. I mean, we can really get caught up in the earthly world and the keeping up with the Joneses type of mentality. I have to do this, I have to do that, it has to be like this, it has to be like that. That's what success looks like. This is it. That we lose sight of our soul and why we're here. We do. We lose sight of the bigger picture of what we want and what we're going after. It's like, what is our soul's resonance? And, how are we moving forward? Powerful for us. So here, slow it down, and just focus on your angels. Focus on feeling their wings around you. Focus on feeling that protection, because we can feel kind of like adrift, like, okay, I'm just shoved out here in this big bad world and told to succeed and given responsibilities, and it feels overwhelming. But with our angels surrounding us, guiding us, moving us forward, it's like, oh, okay, I'm not in this alone. You have my back, right? And your angels definitely have your back during this time. We just have to realize it. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of, that's the Lord. This is Aries energy. Okay, time frame March 21st to April 19th. And I say that as a question. Yeah, it's April 19th. But here, the Lord, this is demanding power. Okay, this is Nero energy. This is like, I'm going to do what I want. This is bullying energy. This is very powerful, very kind of toxic energy. That's like, I have the power. I have the say. I'm bigger. I'm better. I'm going to make this work. I have the authority here. You're going to do what I tell you to do. This is very masculine energy, okay? But it doesn't have to be in a masculine person. It's just the way the energy is presenting. So just be mindful about this during this time. Be mindful about this personally, that we can take this approach, and it will be rather easy for us because, again, we're more aligned during this time with masculine energy. So taking anything masculine to the extreme, positively or negatively, is going to be very easy for us. The feminine energy, we're going to have to work harder at to align with. So acknowledging that is going to be really important. And also just knowing that there's a sense of, I want to be able to have that power, to have that say, to have that instant respect as soon as I walk into the room. But if it's had like this is poisonous. You don't want the negative emperor energy, just like you don't want the negative empress energy either. You don't want it. So here, it's looking at, okay, what's really important? And how do I need to move myself forward for me? It moves us, and we could have a difficult time with Aries energies during this time. It moves us then to our tarot energy. And this is the King of Cups reversed. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. If we have Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer in our chart, we can find them difficult to connect with, just like we can find, if we have Aries in our chart, we can find that difficult to connect with as well. But this is letting our heart lead us forward. This is saying, okay, what do I love? What do I need? And leading by example. And we are going to find it difficult during this time because this is the most feminine of all the kings. So it makes sense that we find this difficult to really embrace our hearts, really say, this is what I love. This is what I'm moving forward towards. This is where I need to be for me. So acknowledging that there is difficulty here and saying to our hearts, okay, I need to listen to you more. I need to slow it down and tune in. That's going to be really super important for us. So embracing what we love is going to be a very powerful thing, but it's going to be a very hard thing. And as soon as we start to listen to our hearts, we'll see our success grow. We'll see ourselves become more than we had anticipated. All right. Oh, and also listening to your instincts, Capricorn. That is going to be something where we're going to be like, well, it has to be proven in fact. I can't just take this leap. But we have the Fool right here. We need to take that leap. We need to go after things during this time, even if they do seem foolish. So it's going to be important. Where's my heart leading me? And what am I passionate about? All right, Capricorn. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Capricorn. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless and happy holidays. Bye.